Hi guys, hi everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today we are talking about money, and in case the subject of our broadcasting made you smile, there's the whole point of it because we are smiling because we know it's true. Money is kind of like a sex. Everybody likes it, and we are all a little bit shy to talk about. So anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm wishing you good afternoon. Very flowery. I put daffodils in there just in case anybody is still dealing with winter blues, or anybody started dealing with winter blues. I want to encourage you with these little daffodils, which I bought yesterday. Can you believe it? In England, in UK, we can get daffodils these days, which is very good news. And we've got the first people watching in a moment, fingers crossed. Who is joining us is my dear friend, and also she used to be client a couple of times, Mirka Mesiarová. So fingers crossed she will find the way how to join me, so I can bring her to the camera any moment. So I can introduce you to her. This is very, very successful lady. Miriam is a property investor, and she, same as you, used to be, and all of us actually used to be in some point in 9 to 5 job, working until she came through the way how she can earn money in a different way. So let's see, Mirka, I still don't see you being on a camera, so let's see. Oh, hopefully you are live. So in case you are watching us, you need to click on the streaming. You need to actually go into the, I hope I explained that correctly. So you need to go and watch us, so I can invite you on the camera. Mati, I'm glad you're watching us. By the way, Martina and I, we send each other message. When was it, Mati? Yesterday or day before? That we miss each other so much because Martinka has been broadcasting last week with her guest, and I was broadcasting with. I actually had a break, and this week we are broadcast. I'm inviting someone else myself, so we didn't actually see each other for a couple of weeks. And it's not because we don't love each other, we still love each other. We just wanted to make it a little bit spicy and a little bit more interesting for you guys. So I now wish to have another phone where I can call Miriam and make sure that she is joining us. So I've got another phone and I've got no battery here. Let's see. Matka is writing. Looking forward to this today. Great. Oh, Matka, I wish you'd. Can you can you write a message to Mirka Mesiarová, Mati, and help her to join us, please? And I think the information she needs is that she needs to watch this broadcasting. She is on the page where we are broadcasting from, but she needs to actually click on the screen where she can watch us. Thanks, Mati. In the meantime, while Martinka is helping me, thank you so much. So Mirka Mesiarová, I think you will know her. Just send me okay if you know who I'm talking about, Mati, that you can contact her. Let's just help Miriam to. I think she's got Miriam Mesiarová on her. Otherwise, I would have to start again. But in case we can work this out, and I will wait for a little while, I'm just going to continue. So today we are going to be talking about money, and we are going to talk about relationship we have with money. And we are going to talk about all the possible ways how to earn money, maybe even like doing something what we love and enjoy. So, it's very interesting because I know my relationship with money, it's not always been the way it is now. I remember several years ago I used to think about people who got lots of money as like they must have been like earned them like in a dodgy way, or not being very nice people, being greedy. I used to think that lots of money is not good for your character. I used to think that what I used to think. I used to, blame wealth or lots of wealth for a lot of wars in the world. I used to, I didn't really have a good relationship with money, and I never even thought about my relationship with money. This is the funny thing. We don't actually really even think about what's our relationship with money, like what kind of question is that? So it was very interesting, and I think one of my big breakthroughs, Matka Ano, Miriam Mimzi Masierova, that's my girl. Yes, please, give her a call, or I'll tell her, just so she knows how to join me here. Thank you so much, honey. So glad you're here. So, my big breakthrough that came in terms of my relationship with money and this perception I was thinking like money is a greed, which is actually, by the way, quite hard to do your business if you don't like money. I mean, otherwise it's just kind of like hobby or something. It's not a real business you're doing. And you can do it, but it's like real hard work. So for those of you who are doing the business, it's really, really great to get a really friendly relationship with money, because that is helping us to create a true abundance, not just about the wealth, but abundance in our life. Money is very often connected to our value. So how do we perceive ourselves? What value do we feel we have as a people, as a women? What can we offer, out there? I had a call with one of my girls earlier today, and she said to me, I really want to start my business, I really want to do this, but I just don't know, why would anybody buy my service, anything from me? And this is where it starts with confidence, but it's also about clarity about what we are offering. It's also about acknowledging that even if we are at the beginning, we are still learning, we already have a plenty to offer. And it, of course, grows with the confidence, grows with our experience with the fact that we are actually doing what we love doing, and we genuinely care about what we do. So while we are still waiting for Miriam, because it's so much talking that I have to do when I'm here on my own, so I'm still waiting for my guest, I want to maybe share with you about my breakthrough with money. And just a second, girls, I am just working on Martinka, I can't bring Mirka on the screen for some reason, because she is not coming up here on as a person who is watching me. So I'm not sure how to do this. So Martina is saying that Mirka is watching me. But Mirka is not coming on a screen. Mirka, in case you're watching me and you're hearing me, are you landscape? And send me a message in the comments if you are landscape. And also, okay, Martina is helping me to bring Miriam on. Send me a message whether you're landscape and whether you're on iPhone, because I think it's any mobile can do this these days. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to bring my guest on the camera. With Martina, we are just so automatic. We've got this automated, but sometimes with new people, it takes a little technical hiccup that we have. But Martinka, thank you for dealing with that. So let me, guys, in the meantime, share my big breakthrough that I have with perception of money. And believe it or not, it happened in winter, several years ago, and it was here in London, in West Kensington. I was teaching. I will never forget that day because it was a very emotional day. I was teaching yoga for addiction and recovery to very vulnerable bunch of young people. And I had some time. I had about 3 hours, spare hours. So, I was walking, and in West Kensington there is a Lamborghini showroom. These amazing, like, posh, big, colorful, yellow, red, orange cars that normally my personality would never ever like got in place like this. I was wearing, just to give you a picture, I was wearing this like sheep coat. Sheep coat means like it was just this really warm coat, nothing posh. I basically looked like a sheep with a hat. And this Lamborghini showroom is completely all glass, and behind this glass are these amazing cars. It's so protected that there is a doorbell. You actually have to ring the little thing to enter. And something, my intuition told me to walk in. Okay, and for those of you who know me, I do follow my intuition, even if it doesn't make sense. So I walked in. Here I am, walking into this Lamborghini showroom, and I remembered it like it was today. I was shaking so much because my brain was going crazy. I was saying to myself, what the hell you are doing here? Like, why are you here? What the hell you are doing here? And I was thinking, this doesn't make sense, like, but I didn't say anything. And as I walked in, I seen at the end of this very posh, polished floor place was a really smartly dressed man with a tie, and there was a lady, very slim, very gorgeous, in this perfect dress. They both looked perfect. Whole place looked like a dream. And I was still asking myself what I'm doing here. And they kind of like encouraged me, saying, oh, welcome, They gave me this warm welcome, and I made a few steps forward, and I still was going, oh, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? And then this man, to my surprise at the time, he said to me, how can we help you? And I don't know till this day how I found the courage to say this thing, but I said I came here to look at my future car. Can you believe it? I actually said it. And as I said it, the man said, like, yeah, sure, like, which one? And I said, that orange one. And the reason why I was able to say it is that at the time I was leading this personal development program, and it changed people's lives. It really, I've seen a huge changes in people's lives, and I was thinking of becoming first a Czechoslovakian forum leader anyway. And this huge desire of mine, I was thinking, well, imagine if I turn up with this kind of car in my country and people ask me, oh, is your husband footballer? I would say, no, I just done this program, and everybody would do it, and world is a better place and there's a peace in the world. Anyway, so that was my intention. I went to see the car. Anyway, the whole experience was not about Lamborghini cars. A few moments later, I seen through the glass two men entering the place. And two men that entered this place, it was it was someone I never met before. It was a young man pushing somebody, later I found out it's his friend, in the wheelchair. And they entered this place, and as soon as I saw them, there is one thing that really hit me, and I started being really emotional, and I started crying, because the man on the wheelchair was completely disabled, and so much so he couldn't move at all, not even his finger. He couldn't talk. The only thing he could do was maybe like process the food, eat, and communicate through his eyes. And as soon as I've seen this, I felt extremely moved, because in that moment I realized that my perception about money being the evil in this earth, that's how I had it, changed to, no, actually money and this kind of amazing cars can be actually for someone or some people fulfillment of their dreams. Because this man on a wheelchair, his way he looked at these cars and his eyes, and the fact how he he brightened up, that was priceless. And in this point, I am welcoming Mirka. Mirka, we can't hear you yet. Okay, so not yet. So keep on talking to us and keep on doing something that, okay? So
Hello?
Okay, good, very good. So we can see, we can hear you. Very good. So let me, guys, just so I complete that story, I'm just sharing, Mirka, the story about how I changed my perception about, money being the evil thing. That day in a Lamborghini showroom, I changed my perception about wealth, because I was thinking, well, if having lots of money means that I can help more people and that I can, really make an even larger difference in this world, then yes, I want to be as rich as possible. Okay, so that was my dream. And this is something that I have a common with my guest Miriam, who I'm so excited that she's now with me. So we had a little technical glitch, but it's perfect, we are here. Martinka, thank you very much. She's celebrating, she's saying hooray, hooray. Thank you very much, helping Miriam to come in. So guys, today we are going to talk about money, and I'm very, very pleased that I'm inviting Miriam, my dear friend. I used to work with Miriam. I used to coach her. We've done a couple of programs together, and she's also a property investor, right, Mirka?
Yes, I am.
And you used to have like kind of 9-to-5 job, right? And then you and your husband, which is beautiful, you guys are doing this together. You came up with this idea to do something different. So let's talk a little bit about that and share with us a little bit about how it happened, because today we want to talk about different ways how to make money, and hopefully your story can be one of those stories that can inspire a lot of people out there. So tell us a little bit more about your story, how it all happened.
Okay, so thank you for the opportunity, Lucia, to be your guest. I appreciate it. Why do we do what we do? So basically, it goes all the way back to my childhood, where as a child, and I'm sure lots of Slovakians watching will relate to this. As a child, I used to go to wooden cabins up to the mountains with the friends and friends' family, and I remember that as something beautiful, stress-free, running around the fire, music, cooking goulash, all sorts of things, singing songs, all sorts of adventures. And I kept saying to my parents that one day I will own a wooden cabin in the mountains. And when I was approaching teenage, my friend's family inherited a land. And what they did with that land was something fascinating in my eyes at that point. So instead of selling the land, they kind of built some houses or wooden cabins on it. And they sold some, but they kept some. And from sold, obviously they got some cash. And from the ones that were renting, they got the passing income. So I was amazed that at that point, it was ticking, and I could see how the money works. And how creating a passive income through properties, it's something for life, because properties are here to stay. So that income is guaranteed, and you just have to obviously take care of it and maintain them. So yeah, that was always in me. But I hit 18, went to uni, got a corporate job, where my perception at that point is to get a good job, in the office environment, get a huge salary, so then I can buy my property, then I can get that wooden cabin and do that, a business, which was obviously a bit wrong perception at that point. I'm not saying people can't do it, but it was definitely not working for me, because obviously I was stuck in the job 9 to 5. The salaries were limited. The property prices were going much higher than my salary. So I found myself kind of stuck, as maybe lots of people can relate, in a 9 to 5 rat race, I would call it. But then at some point, well, 3 years ago, I had this self-reflection or something, where I decided enough is enough and I have to do something that I actually like. And as you mentioned before, my perception of money was completely different at that point. So I used to believe, yeah, rich people are greedy. Salaries, you have to hard work.
Work
You
hard
have to
for.
work hard. So not just 8 hours. If you sit in a big corporation, it has to be 12 hours, and then you get the management position, the great salary. But then your life is kind of disappearing.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have a child, you feel that a lot, which I have a little daughter. So I can still feel that, because I still work, but planning to resign very soon. Anyway, so yeah, it goes all the way back to my childhood, and then realizing that something has to change. So I went through all sorts of motivational books, and talked to my partner. I spoke to you. I had you as a coach, which was brilliant, by the way. And I decided to give it a go. So what it meant was, we did pay for a property course, because I did feel, without experience, too much risk. And so we did the course, and last year we bought 3 properties, which was amazing. One after another, one in January and 2 in April. So our strategy is to buy a property that is in need of refurbishment, and refurbish the property to the high standard, and then rent it out or resell to get some cash flow.
Yeah.
So this is what we do at the moment, and that's how we started. It was by realizing that the way we used to live and work wasn't working for us.
Yeah. And I hear that there's a lot to learn, and you're still like kind of in this learning curve, right? It takes a
Yes,
long
that's
time
right.
to kind of build a sustainable, especially when we are up to something quite big that you guys are. What I want to mention, one of the reasons why I love Miriam's not only story, but also why she do what she does and how she does it, is the fact that you've got a big dream, Miriam, right?
Yes.
Can you share with us our dream? And I want to say this, guys, because a lot of times, I don't have it. I actually have a lot of respect, and I think a lot of property investors are very nice people, because I know a few of them. But it's like in every industry, we've got like the ones that just wants to like rip you off the money or whatever, and then you've got a people who do it like Miriam does it, like from the bottom of her heart, and on the top of it, she's very inspiring and very successful. And what I love about you is that you're very transparent, and so much so I didn't tell you, Mirka, but we want to talk to you with my husband to find out a little bit more how we can invest in your business as well. So that's on a side, because I realized I always had a perception that if we you know, if I want to be investor for the property, I need to have few millions, or you know, at least couple
Yeah.
thousand, couple 100,000 pounds. I didn't know you can start as little as 5, 10, 20,000, maybe even less, you know, because you guys, you are always on a search for property investors, so you can invest the money, so you can make money, and we
Yeah.
can make money as investors. So we will talk about a little bit later. Miriam is going to put in the comments her also the details where you can ask a question or just send her a message if you like. But first, let me please tell me about your big dream, because it moves me so much that when you told me first time, I was crying.
Yeah, so I like to create win-win situations. So whatever that means, whether financial or not. So I believe both parties, they need to be somehow satisfied. So my big dream is obviously properties, and create a passive income. If we go even higher than that, then one day I would like to restore very old building somewhere. For example, in Slovakia, lots of historical buildings falling apart. And then again, that kind of benefits the community, that the history stays. So that's one win for the community. And obviously for my win, that would be some financial reward there, and the pride that I did that. Another dream is, again, to go very green and have a environmental friendly house, self-sufficient house, again, built. And again, I think the technology and the way the world is moving, people are finding that going green is it's nice and at the moment maybe trendy, but I think it should be part of our life at some point. So again, yeah, restore the historic and then go completely futuristic. And then also I would like to have a simple little coffee shop with a room where people could meet at all sorts of functions. So from babies, having baby groups, breastfeeding groups, throughout the having different style of team meetings for the corporate people that now are kind of bored and tired of the meetings in the offices, and nowadays, you know, going outside for the team meeting and have it done differently with a cup of coffee, let's say, can benefit them again. All sorts of networkings in the evening, whether it's for property investors or some other business, small businesses meeting. So that would be my another thing, having this little coffee shop with trying to get people together.
I like it, Mirka. Can I jump into it? Because that's all
yeah.
nice. That's all we say, oh yeah, that's lovely. But a lot of people might have similar, well, I don't think everybody wants to restore the buildings in Slovakia. But what I wanted to say, what I'm really being moved by, tell us a little bit about your grandfather. Because that's that's where it's coming from your heart.
Yeah, and that's the biggest one. So then the last one, or whatever we could call it, I would like to open some sort of a factory. At the moment, I don't know, I like cool t-shirts, so let's just say it would be t-shirts, or something like that. And I would like to restore one of those, I suppose, Batya principles, or Cadbury, that was in the UK, that kind of thing. Take best of both, which means we all need workers. In my family, I come from a worker background. But what I'm seeing is that sometimes workers are treated badly just because they're workers. But what business people seem to be missing is that without workers, there will be no business of their own. Yeah. All these rich bad ones, or good ones, it's just if you just try to be nice to your employees, they will stay even for the bad wage, because that's here to stay. There will always be unfairness in terms of wages. But if you're nice to them, if you try to educate them at some point as well, like Bati used to do, if you try to involve them as a family, as a community, so yeah, a bit of a Christmas time, involve the whole family, and just make their life a bit nicer in that 9 to 5 shift they have to go through. And yeah, that would be my biggest achievement, I suppose, where people would kind of say, Miriam is our boss. She's the owner of the factory, but we have never had a better boss than her.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that would
Can
be
I
really
say
nice.
something on you? When Miriam shared this with me, actually, a few times, and especially first time, guys, that she was on my coaching program, and I remember where at the beginning, always when someone is starting the business, we establish what's their why. What is the reason for them to do the business, right? Like have a more of a work-life balance, like having boss of your time is a very common one, and earning more money in a way that we feel like we can use our skills, and also why for the community. And when Miriam was sharing her why, she was saying, I mean, she was so almost like angry. You've been almost like angry, like how, if I can say this, like how your family in the past been treated, because she's seen it as a little girl. She's seen her grandfather coming, and I bet it's a story of many of you guys, especially especially our grandfathers. You know, when we've seen people, it was like war generation, working so hard, being treated so badly, especially in the factories. And when Miriam said to me with her tears in her eyes, I have goosebumps now, that I would like to create a community where, you know, people are being treated fairly, and where you know, they feel like they are being valued. You know,
Yeah.
it is something that resonated with me a lot, because, you know, I used to work in a corporate world, and without dropping names, I've seen horrible things being done to people, including myself. And you know, politics and all the rest of it, I'm sure that you guys have a lot of stories to share. We don't have to work in a factory. We probably experience it every day. And it doesn't have to be that way. Me and Miriam and I, we have something in common, that we have this new way of business that we believe that is possible to be done. And I'm proven example with all my project. Miriam is that we can work in collaboration. We can grow together. It doesn't have to be competition. Is an old model. New model is that we help each other to grow, and the more successful you are, the more successful I am. You know, there is enough abundance for all of us. There
That's
really
right.
is. And so I thank you, Miriam, from the bottom of my heart, that you do things the way you do, you know, and I'm so glad, and obviously I'm cheering you on your journey further. And this is one of the reasons why I offered to bring Miriam on the camera, so you guys know this lady, and you know that yes, there is a way how to make money working with amazing people like Miriam, people you can trust, people, I know you don't know her yet, but you know, people who do business, they do it well, but they also do it from the heart. They're fair, they're transparent. There is such a thing, and I think it's more and more of us starting to do businesses this way, because I think people are realizing, and even companies are realizing, this is the only sustainable way. Because people are dropping
Exactly.
like flies. They have no energy. If they have no time for their families, how a person can be happy at work? When mother goes to work after maternity leave, and she's constantly thinking about her ill child at home, you know, babysitting by some kind of nanny she had to get quickly just so she can go to work and earn money. How there can be any performance from you know, person like this at work, how she can be fully present. This is just one of the examples. So thank you for sharing that story, because hopefully more of you are getting new perspective, not only on money but also on business as such, or the way how we can design our life, or like, you know, to view these things differently. Now, little bit, let's get a little bit more specific. And I know there's a lot of things that you can, you're very educated in terms of like technically how it works, in case anybody out there is thinking, well, I've got a little bit of cash, it's not a great amount, but I don't necessarily need it right now. And, you know, banks don't really give us anything these days, so you might as well have your money at home. That's how it is these days. So, or if you don't have enough to invest into property, or you are not in stage when you would buy the property, and you are happy to give your money away, whether it's 5,000 or 10,000 or maybe even 3,000, right? For 1 year, what Miriam can do, from what I understand, is that you use this money, Mirka, to buy a property, maybe collection of several investors, and within a year you turn that money around, you refurbish the house, you sell it or whatever, rent it out, and you make a money. And instead of 0.001% we get from the bank, you're able to give us something around 10%, or is it 10%?
Yeah.
So correct
yes,
me now. Tell us more.
Yes. So, you know, if people are thinking of creating a passive income through properties, fair play. Properties are out there, lots of them in need of refurbishment, so you can give it a go that way. Or if you don't feel that you want to be property investor, and you want to buy houses, but you do have some sort of a cash lying around, you can become, it is officially called angel investor. If you Google angel investor now, Google usually will give you an explanation of a very wealthy person that will invest loads of money into some startup or some sort of a property. But that's not necessarily true. So lots of investors buy houses to refurb and rent out at the very low prices. So when we talk about UK, somewhere in north, you can buy a property for 50k or 150k or 300,000, obviously, and it goes higher and higher. And the refurbishment for a property, it's on average for a three bed normal house, it's between 15 to 20k. So what investors do is they use other people's money for usually refurbishments. So let's say you've got a 10k lying around, or you know, in your savings, earning 1.25% on your saving
lucky
account.
Yeah,
let's say for ISA that you can't touch anyway.
Yeah.
Or, you know, an investor that is doing a property that, you know, to rent out, and they're refurbishing it. You can give them that 10k, usually for a year, and they give you 10% back. So if you invest with them 10k, you get 11k back, whereas from the bank you would have 10,125, providing the interest rate was 1.25%.
And can I just say, like, it's all transparent, there's all paperwork. It's not like you're giving money and you don't, right? It's all like you've got a contract and everything is covered legally, and you get all the paperwork. And Miriam is actually also letting you know throughout the year, like, how they are doing. Not that you need to know it, like I've got a relationship with Miriam that I trust her. I kind of don't even need to know. I just need to know that I will get that, you know, 10% back at the end. That's, you know, what I care about, to have a contract about it. But, you know, she's really great. You know, if you want, she can let you know how she's doing. So,
so it depends on the investor. So my advice would be, from the investor point of view and from the angel investor point of view, which I was both, or am both, is you need to trust them. You need to know them. It's not just the website that you look up and you go, oh, okay, they do it, and then you give them your money. So try to make that link with whoever does it, and yes, they need to show you the property and the numbers. So in the principle, very simply how it works, let's say we buy a property for 50k and the refurbishment is 15k, so that's already 65. And because the property for 50k was in a really bad state and we refurbished it, the done up value now, if you call the estate agent, they would say, okay, this is now worth 80k. Yeah. So you buy property for 50, refurbish for 15, and then you go to the mortgage providers and you ask them for the revaluation or a further advance, it's called, on your mortgage, and they send a valuer out and they say, okay, this property is now 85, we can lend you that difference. And that means that money that the angel provided, that 15k, comes back. So that way the investor can give you that money back with a bit of a earning, 10% earning, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
But you need to see that, you need to see the numbers, and you need to see how your property is going to work. And it usually happens through buy-to-let mortgages. It takes 6 months to apply for further advance.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody tells you it can be done earlier than that, that's not correct. So yeah, you need to see how your money is going to come back to you.
Yeah, you need to have a clarity about that. Yeah.
And they need to explain those numbers to you so simply that you will understand. You know, fancy contracts are fancy contracts, but they are usually, if you don't understand it, how are you going to trust that person?
Of course.
So yeah, the contract needs to be in place regardless what people tell you. And the numbers, and obviously some sort of a communication. If the people asks you a million of questions, you need to answer a million of questions, because if you try to hide something, again, that messes up the whole trust thing. But to be honest, most investors, because they have few projects on the go, like we had 3 houses on the go, they are, I would say, most of them are good, but obviously, you know, you need to be careful, because if you do it once, you do it wrong, that's it, that's your reputation gone. Nowadays with social media, I think I would be the first one to start posting, be careful of this person, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? So the reputation is actually so easily damageable if you want to. So yeah, definitely.
And I like on a Facebook page, you can actually see like how your property is doing, because you often post pictures and you're letting people actively know what's going on. You know, Mirka, we are going to wrap up because we kind of we've got our 45 minutes. But what I want to say is that if guys, any of this resonates with you, speak to Miriam and maybe find out more. Maybe this is not the right time for you, but maybe the time will come. And I always think I rather, obviously, you know, do your research, whatever you need to do. That there needs to be trust, then you need to be informed or ask questions. But I always say, for many reasons, I think this is like fantastic way how to earn money, and I'm quite excited about it. And we will schedule the call where I want my husband to be as well. Trust me, he will ask you a lot of questions. He's one of those.
Good.
But you know, I love the fact that this way we can grow together. You know, like I've got some money hanging around, and you know, if you get to the stage where you've got even a little bit of cash that you are not really thinking that you are going to do anything with it for next year, I think this is a fantastic way how to make some money without working, without giving away your time. And that's essentially what a passive income is about.
It's creating that win-win situation, so both parties get something. And also, just quickly to say, also what investors do, they do a kind of gifts for, if we always hunt for property. So if you find a property, or you know someone that is trying to sell inherited property in need of refurbishment, they just want to get rid of it. So if you link up with that property investor and the successful, and obviously property is right financially for them, and the purchase completes, you can get £1,000 reward just for, you know, linking the property investor to the right property, and that's all you just have to do. That's it, and you get 1,000.
That's
And
quite
again,
exciting, right? So
yeah,
basically what Miriam is saying, and what I always encourage, guys, there's so many ways how to make a money. We don't just have to go do 9 to 5. We can,
yeah,
we can dare and create our own businesses. We can, like Miriam was doing, like going from part-time to lessening her hours to allocate more hours where she can build her business, which is essentially what she's still
yeah.
doing, retiring very soon. Well done, Mirka. And
Thank you.
or you can you can write a book. Maybe you
Yeah,
love writing, that's a passive
yeah.
income, right? You can create an
And
album, if you're musicians,
yeah,
that's the passive income. Or we can invest. I like this investing thing because I don't need to
yeah,
put any time there, you see.
yeah,
Like, because I can invest into property, but I need to rent it out, look after it. But in this point, I don't really want to have that kind of hassle. So that's why I'm
yeah.
considering investing into your property.
And just wanted to say, it doesn't have to be just property. You've got lots of businesses, again, startup businesses, but they usually require millions or a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you do have some sort of a small business people that can work with other people's money just to set them up. But again, you need to see their plan, and with that is a little bit more tricky
I
because
think it's
you
more
can't predict the
risky.
profits.
That's
Yeah,
right. It's more risky. What I like with you guys, that is actually in the contract that 10% is guaranteed. Like you
yes,
make that money, and also properties is a little bit more predictable. I mean, of course, with the Brexit and everything, is a little bit like you have to keep an eye on it
yeah,
and make sure. But then it can open a lot of other opportunities, like any change
that's
as
right.
well.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like riding a wave. Guys, I'm so happy. Thank you, Miriam, so much for being
Thank you.
here. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I get excited about
I
money,
did.
and it's because I use the money wisely, and I learned how to love money because I love investing and reinvesting money. So we all win. So I can
Yeah.
treat my family, I can do something good with them. So I am very excited about money. I love the money. I wish everybody loves money how I love money. And we all have this desire to make something beautiful, something worthwhile with our wealth, and that we are inspired because of the right reason, because that I think that would be beautiful if more of us can do this. So if this talk inspired
Absolutely.
you guys, send us a message. We are also going to send a little link on Miriam. Send her by all means, even like Facebook message, personal one. I even like forgot to introduce myself. So my name is Lucia Hoxa. I'm a lifestyle coach and yoga teacher. I do this at the beginning, but most of you know me, and there are some people who already worked with me either as well. So who are watching. So great to see you guys. Hello to everybody new. Lovely to spend this Wednesday afternoon with us. Miriam, thank you so much. We wish you
Thank you,
all the
Lucia.
best of luck. Listen,
Thank you.
right
Thank you.
behind you.
To you
And
too.
yeah, enjoy the rest of the week, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye bye.